Hey, Mike. Apologies in advance because I know you've been asked some variation of this question for a while, but can you point to anything in particular when you look at the discrepancy in the way your team has played on the road versus, the home record you guys have?
I don't think it's probably a lot of different things, but in general terms, I mean, we have a great home environment that we play in, so we enjoy playing at home. I don't really read too much into the road. I mean, it's not the fact that we've been so good at home creates more differential for the road record. It's not like the road record's atrocious. So we've been more than competitive on the road last year, this year. So it's really more about how well we played at home, but we've clearly also been able to take care of business on the road as well.
Go to Bruce on the left.
Hey, Mike. Because you've known that you're going to play the Cubs for a while, what type of advantage does it give you and the Cubs as well to prepare over this last week or 10 days?
Yeah, we've had our feet in two different places, right? Finishing the season, which we did strongly. I was really pleased how we competed at the end of the season. Really pleased with how we competed all year, quite frankly. But we were able to keep our focus and attention on taking care of business at the end of the season, but also internally, more for the staff. When the players, just go play. Now it's time to go prepare, but more from a front office, scouting, field staff. We've been able to spend some, real time over the last 5 days or so to look at it. It's a team we're fairly familiar with, a team I'm got some history with and familiar with, and seen a lot of these guys over the last several years. So we've taken advantage of the time knowing who we're going to play.
Go to Kevin and then AJ.
Mike, how is Elias, and what will be the process of determining his fitness?
Yeah, Ace we're in the process of figuring that out. He felt good today. Did some pool work today, and moved around a little bit. I'll have a better answer for you here next couple hours. They're going to put him through some light paces. It's a double-edged sword, right? You want to find out, you want to rest him, but can he go? How much you test him? So we have a great medical staff that's going to figure that out, and we'll have a little bit more clarity later today, and may not have absolute clarity until tomorrow.
With the uncertainty, then, if he were to be on the roster, would you carry three catchers in that scenario?
It's something, again, that once we get the intel from Elias today and have our discussion with AJ, we'll land on the roster here later tonight or potentially in the morning. Like I said, I think they've got to be announced formally at 10, and so it's still up for discussion internally.
Having a guy like Mason in your bullpen who is not your closer, who you can kind of deploy where you need him in the late innings without giving away too much, how do you expect to use him this postseason, and what kind of weapon is that?
Yeah, I think that goes for about all of our bullpen guys. Maury Hone has been used more in multiple places. We're going to trust our starters and see what that looks like. Obviously, we got Nicky going tomorrow, and we trust Nicky completely. And but specific to the bullpen and roles and usage, we've got Maury Hone, we've got Estrada, and to your point, Miller, who can be deployed. And in some cases, it can be a one-inning situation, but these guys are rested and have done multiple innings, and we'll use them appropriately for whatever role it calls for. But multiple innings will be on the table for all of them.
Jesse.
Mike, one of the great cliches this time of year is that everything resets. What happened in the regular season doesn't matter in the postseason. I guess from your experience as a manager in this game, where do you land on that, and how much what happened in the regular season matters now?
You create an identity with your club for what took place to get you here. So what took place in the regular season is real, and we're going to rely on those experiences. To AJ's question about the bullpen, our bullpen's been used in multiple different ways, so there's not going to be a scenario really where it's going to be they haven't seen it before. We've done a lot of different things to compete that sometimes teams can wait to do in the postseason, as far as bunting or moving runners or just different style of play. Well, we've normalized that during the regular season, and we're going to draw upon it. And then the last thing is it's a battle-tested club. This hadn't been a straight line, and I think that's going to be the case for any playoff team, right? No one's had an easy road to get to the playoffs, so we're not unique in that. But specific to the Padres, we've had our challenges. We've had our challenges with, our starting pitching. We've clearly, our bullpen's been a strength. We've had our challenges with injuries. We've had a lot of different lineups. We've had a lot of different ways to compete, and we've been able to hold it together and win games and get here. So that battle-tested individual collectiveness that we have is going to serve us well.
Let's go to Jesse in the fourth row.
Mike, Wrigley's played pretty volatile this year defensively, sun, wind. Was it by coincidence you're working out about the same time as the first pitch tomorrow, or did you really want it at this time?
Yeah, I think it was open, so we took it. Yeah, and to your point, we know it's I'm sure there's a metric or somebody's got an absolute to it, but there's not many more not another ballpark that I would say that can be any trickier than Wrigley, and we're aware of it. We spent some time. We created our workout time around it. It's really just about continued awareness of the environment and making sure we're communicating consistently as the game goes, and know that in the second it could be different than the fourth, it could be different than the seventh, and the time of game we're going to see shadows and we're going to see sun balls, and so we're aware of all that, and just a matter of being present in what the game's presenting us, including the elements.
Let's go third row in the middle.
Hi, Mike. Your
Yeah.
counterpart, Council, came here with a big reputation, big contract, got a good bit of pressure to deliver. What's your view of him in the pantheon of managers right now?
Oh man, that's I don't know, it's a hard question, man. I mean, I'll just leave it at this. I've gone and had the privilege to manage against Craig for a number of years now, going back to his Milwaukee days, clearly now in Chicago. And every team, we were in the same division. Our teams went to the wire every year, back and forth. And there's no surprise he's come over here, and Chicago's going back to the playoffs under his guidance. So he's a very good manager. He's a really sharp guy, and we know we've had some good series over the years, and he does a nice job.
We'll finish up with Kevin right in the front.
Which starter will you trust in Game 2?
Dylan Cease is going to start Game 2.
And the decision behind that?
Multiple decisions, multiple things. I mean, Dylan's been good, throwing the ball more consistently lately. It kind of it gives, if indeed there's a Game 3, and Darvish is in play, it gives him an extra day rest. Dylan's rested. He's throwing the ball well here. He's throwing the ball well against his club, and he's Dylan Cease. He's got a big arm, and he's the guy that we feel is best suited for Game 2.
And that would mean Michael will be available in the bullpen, given that?
That'd be accurate.
What is that, given the experience that he has in that role in the past, what can that do to help you guys?
It's another weapon. It's another weapon that's there. Again, we've got bullpen guys that clearly have gotten us here that we trust, and Michael will be used appropriately relative to the guys that have the experience and have done well in that role. And the spot will present itself potentially this series for Michael to show up.